Hey, Jake. I know it's kind of clingy to message you like this, and it's only our first date, but I just had to get in touch. I just wanted to say how much of an amazing experience it was today. You really know how to make a girl feel special. I have to be honest, I walked into this date not expecting much, but you really swept me off my feet.
Hey, Mary. Well, I'm glad that you had a really good time. I have to say that you surprised me as well. For someone who comes from a poor background, you definitely knew the type of mannerisms to eat in a place like this. I'm wondering if you come to this type of thing a lot.
Oh, what, me? No way! Do you really think that I'm that type of girl? Trust me, I can barely afford myself a meal at your local McDonald's. This thing was totally out of the ordinary, and I never expected you to take me to it.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you're happy. I truly am.
You're really an amazing guy, Jake. I've never met anyone like you before.
Oh, really? Well, you aren't so bad yourself.
Oh, really? That's so cute. Well, what is it you like about me? Did you like this little outfit I chose? I specifically chose this one for you. I wanted to take a guess about what type of girl you're into. I got the impression that you like classy, but a little bit of sexy mixed together. What do you think? Did I get the outcome that I was searching for?
Well, if that's the type of look you were after, then you definitely got it. Whether it's my type of thing or not is a different story.
Well, hey, come on, don't say that. I really put a lot of effort into this outfit. I spent hours trying to search for the perfect items when I was in the shops. Are you trying to tell me that you didn't actually like it?
Hey, I didn't say that. All I'm saying is I'm not really sure if it's my type of outfit, but I guess it looked really nice.
You've got to be kidding me. I had all the other guys compliment me, and you're not going to compliment me on this thing? This is exactly what I mean. Guys like you really had to make a girl go crazy. And you know what? I kind of like it.
Well, I don't know what other guys you've been seeing, but I'm only telling the honest truth about how I feel. I mean, if you want my opinion on something, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm also not gonna deliberately try to hurt your feelings either.
Well, hey, if that's the case, how about you just take your shot and tell me what outfit you like in the first place? I honestly thought going for the boots and the miniskirt was going to be your thing. I mean, let's face it, you're in that type of demographic, right? All the guys love this type of look.
Yeah, well, what can I say? I'm not like the other guys. I may be a lot different from the people that you're used to associating with.
Oh, I can tell. If you weren't different from them, I wouldn't be this interested in you.
Oh, come on, calm down already. You're dancing a little bit too fast for me. I like to take these things a little bit slower. I'm not like these young guys that you hang out with. I'm the type to slow cook. I don't want to accelerate all the way to 100, if you know what I mean.
Oh my god, look, I'm so sorry. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just so totally flustered by you. I've never felt this way before, so I might be acting a little bit weird.
Well, that's a good sign. I'm very flattered that you would say something like that to me. It's good to know that the effort I was putting into our date has actually paid off. At the same time, I'm really curious. What is it exactly that you find attractive about me? What is it that I have that no one else has?
Well, I don't know. It's really hard for me to explain. I guess I just love everything about your character. You're just perfect. I can't ask for anything more.
Come on, Mary, don't be like that. That's boring. Give me a proper reason. This is an important question. Depending on how you answer it will determine whether or not I continue to see you.
Hey, come on! Are you serious right now? You're going to put that much pressure on me? Jeez, can't you accept the girl's honesty when she's giving it to you? Anyway, you know what? Fine. So you want me to give you some reasons? The good old perfect card just won't work with you, huh? I'll be honest with you then. Jake, I am not your average girl, so don't expect me to be with your average guy either. I want a guy that's powerful. I want a guy that has some confidence in himself. I want a guy that knows what he's doing.
Okay, and I'm assuming you think that's all me? Were you able to assess that much all from one date? Maybe you should give it some more time for you to get to know me.
I already know. I could read you like a book. It was easy. I mean, look at the way you carry yourself. Look at the way you talk to people, the way you handle yourself at that restaurant too. I just know that you're the exact type of guy that I want to be with.
Interesting. I guess I can't really be with you at the end of the day then. Mary, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but you failed.
Hey, what the hell? What do you mean I failed? In what way did I fail right now? This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, look, I'm sorry, it's a shame. It seems like you're just like all the other girls that are trying to run after me. There's nothing that separates you from them. I kind of had hopes for you, to be honest.
Hold on a second. What are you talking about right now? This doesn't make any sense. If you're going to reject me, at least give me a reason. What makes you think I'm like all the other girls? I happen to disagree.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like you said. It's not something that I know for sure. It's just something that I feel. I mean, the way you answered my question before, it sounded like a lot of them. The fact of the matter is, there's no point in trying to hide it. I'm a very wealthy man. Everyone knows it. Whenever I'm seeing someone, I need to give them a quick test. I need to see how they react to my wealth.
Are you serious? Are you that precautious about this type of thing? I don't know what experiences you've had in the past, but I can guarantee you that I'm very different from them. I am not like all the other girls. I was just saying it before, right?
That's another tune I've already heard before. You saying it doesn't make any difference. In my mind, you basically are like the other girls.
Hang on a minute. This is insane. You're jumping to conclusions right now. You have to give me a chance. I mean, it's like you said, right? It's only been one day. Are you sure you can make a judgment that quickly? I'm telling you now, you're definitely going to regret it.
Actually, I can make a judgment about you, Mary. You don't think I've done this type of thing for a long time? I've got my ways of checking people. My way of checking you was the moment I brought out my car.
I'm sorry, what did you just say? What does your car have to do with anything?
Well, let's compare the way that you were talking to me before I brought out my car and how you were talking to me when we were riding in it. At the restaurant, I was telling you all about myself, what I do, and the things that I'm passionate about. I actually shared more about myself than I usually do. Despite that, you seemed bored, uninterested. You were waiting for some sort of excitement. So I did what I always do, and I decided to put you in my car and take you home. I was going to assess how much you would react the moment you saw the car, and boy, did you react. That was the most exaggerated reactions I've ever seen in my whole life. I mean, I would just say the most simple and basic thing, and you would just sit there chuckling over it, thinking it was the funniest thing in the world. So, the moment you realized that I have a bit of wealth, that's when you started to, quote-unquote, enjoy my company?
Oh my god, Jake, what are you doing right now? Don't say that to me. You have no idea what's going on at all. Are you seriously saying that's how you're evaluating me? I can't believe I've given you such a bad impression. It's not who I am. You have to trust me.
Well, I'm sorry, Mary, but you had your chance. We spent a long night getting to know each other. You could have shown me your true colors at any time. Unfortunately for you, you decided to show me your enthusiasm only after you knew I was driving around in something fancy. Good luck out there. I hope you find a different guy who's not as smart as me. They'll probably fall for your little skirt and boots trick.
Oh my god, I can't believe this. This is just so mean. Are you seriously going to judge me just on some stupid little detail like that? You really have no idea who I am at all. There is a lot more to me than just that. I am not some superficial girl who's only after your money.
Okay, well, you had all the time during that date to show me otherwise. I guess I wasn't interesting enough for you to tell me about yourself.
Oh my god, look, you're totally looking at this in the wrong way. Just give me a chance to explain myself. You'll understand why I did what I did. The thing is, I've never been with a guy like you. I'm very nervous. I don't even know if it's okay for me to express myself the way I want to. There's a comfortability thing, you know, it takes time for me to open up. Do you really want me to just rush in and tell you everything about myself straight away?
Well, I'm not sure, Mary, but you could at least give me one thing that I could grasp at. One thing that would actually appeal to me. Let's be honest, at the moment, you're starting to look as insipid as the rest of them. There's no outfit in the whole world that's gonna make me overlook how materialistic someone is.
Okay, look, I know what you're saying right now, but I'm not as stupid and boring as you think. There's a lot more to me. You just gotta give me a chance.
Well, if that's the case, out of everything that I talked to you about today, what was the one thing that you could relate to? What was the one thing you felt like we had in common?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I really like the fact that you value teamwork and raising a family someday.
Oh, do you really now? Or are you just saying that to impress me?
No. Look, I honestly do. I mean, just look at society these days. Can you believe that no one actually wants a family anymore? I mean, just go ask anyone in my friend circle. You're not going to find one person who's actually intent on getting married and having a family someday. I really feel like that's a lost tradition. I mean, shouldn't that be something that everyone's happy about and looking forward to? Why wouldn't anyone want to have kids?
Well, how about I throw that question right back at you? Why would you want kids? At the moment, it sounds like you're just trying to give me a really weak reason as to why we have a lot of things in common.
Okay, fine. Look, I'll give you a reason, but don't get mad at me if it's not the answer you're looking for. I mean, I'm really put on the spot here. Some of these things are things that I haven't even thought about before. I've never really thought about why I want children. I just kind of do. If I did have to think about it, it would probably relate back to my mother.
Okay, so how does this relate to your mother then?
Well, here's the thing. I've never gotten to meet her before. Well, I've seen pictures of her, but she passed away when she gave birth to me.
So you grew up in a family with no mother. I'm really sorry to hear that. Your dad must have had a tough time raising you.
He did the best that he could, but here's the thing. He would often talk about my mother. He would also show me the pictures. He would tell me that before I was born, she would talk about having a massive family one day. She wanted to have at least 10 children. She wanted us all to be happy. I guess a part of her dream is living on through me. It's kind of what I want too. Well, I at least want to have a lot of children. I'm pretty sure she'd be happy if I did something like that.
Are you being 100% honest with me right now?
Of course I am. Do you think I would lie about my own mother dying? Just how horrible do you think I am? Anyway, that's one of the things that made me resonate with you so much. I mean, you're really a family guy. You were telling me how your dad raised you to be a man with values. He really wanted you to have one partner that you commit your whole life to. You were telling me that there's an innate desire in you to become as powerful as possible and use that power to protect the one person you love. And then you want to be able to protect your family. I mean, can you blame me if I'm attracted to something like this? It sounds really beautiful if I'm being honest.
Wow, I see you were listening to what I was saying.
Of course I was. Maybe it looked like I wasn't interested, but I definitely was there. I was definitely intrigued by what you were saying.
Okay, but why would you choose me over any other guy? I mean, let's look at the facts here. You're quite a young lady, Mary. I'm getting up there in years, and I want to settle down with someone. Aren't you going to be embarrassed when you're walking around with me? Are you sure that you want me to be the guy that you have kids with?
Come on. Aren't you listening to what I'm saying? I am telling you right now that the average guy these days doesn't have any honor. There's no chivalry to them. Maybe a bit of old-fashioned guy is what I need, especially one that actually cares about family. I mean, let's just face it. The guys that are out here are only after one thing, and it's disgusting. At least with you, I feel like you actually care about people. You actually want to get to know what's on the inside of me.
Well, your feelings are correct. That's exactly the type of guy that I am. I'm sorry, but when you get to my age, you've seen them all. I've seen pretty girls, and I've seen beautiful girls. At the end of the day, it's just something to look at on the outside. but the connection you have is with what the person has on the inside. Many years of failing have taught me that lesson. Unless you have some sort of inner beauty on the inside, I don't know if I can be attracted to you, Mary.
Oh my god, come on! Do I really have to just sit here and keep proving myself to you? I feel like I'm in some interview or something.
Well, if you like me this much, then you're gonna have to go through it. I'm sorry, but I'm a very busy man. And like I said, I want to give everything to one person. This is a big gamble. I have to know that you're the right one for me. I mean, at this point, I don't even know what you do. I don't know what job you do. I don't know what your hobbies are. You're a complete stranger to me. Sitting at dinner with the phone in your face didn't tell me much about you.
Okay, fine. I'll tell you a little bit about myself then. Sorry. If you're interested in what job I do, I'm actually a model.
Are you serious right now? You actually model?
I do. I had a modeling gig when I was 6 years old. I've considered myself a model ever since then.
Wow, you've been doing it for that long. You must be a really experienced model. You must be in some of the biggest magazines.
Yeah, well, not necessarily. At the moment, I'm on standby with a modeling agency that I signed up for when I was younger. Whenever they have an assignment, they're gonna send me on it.
Well, I'm not really sure what to read into here, Mary. I mean, if you're a model, that probably means you're pretty vain, right? You must be really obsessed with yourself.
Oh my god, like that's totally not who I am. You see what I mean? You're reading way into this. You need to get to know me a little bit more. I'm a lot more than just my modeling career.
Okay, well, what else do you do then? What are your hobbies?
Well, where should I even start? You know what? I'm just so complex that I don't even know what's the best thing to tell you. There are just so many amazing things about my personality, so many dimensions to me. You've really asked me a hard question, you know that?
Yeah, well, as hard as it may be, it's something that I need to know. I'm sorry, but we just had a 3-hour date where I barely got to know you at all. I need you to give me something.
Okay, like, fine. So, I don't really like to brag about this type of thing, but I'm actually really big into volunteering.
Oh, so you like to volunteer?
Yeah, big time. That's the type of person I am. I love giving back to the world. I mean, take a look at our everyday lifestyle. There are so many pleasures out there for us to enjoy, so many things for us to indulge in. I think the right thing to do is to give back to the community. We all make up this world, we all benefit from it, and I want to do my part in making it a better place.
Okay, well, if that's the case, I'm gonna need to hear what type of volunteering you do. I need to know that you're not lying to me.
Hey, come on, why would I do that? I do all sorts of things. I like to go to the soup kitchen every now and then.
Oh, really? You actually go to a soup kitchen?
Come on, don't sit there and try to doubt me. It's the honest truth, I swear. And you know what? That's not even the only thing that I do. I mean, you name whatever type of volunteering is out there, and I am doing it. It could be doing some community service, cleaning up the town that I live in, or maybe I'm even doing some tutoring for free.
Why would you do tutoring for free? You can earn a lot of good money from that.
Well, I mean, come on. If you like children as much as I do, then that's what you want to do. I don't even need the money for it. I just enjoy it for the sake of doing it. I mean, surely you must understand what I mean by that, right? You're the type of guy that would do that type of thing too?
Well, for the type of guy in my position, you would think that I don't give back to people very often, but children are one of my soft spots. I'm actually donating to the local orphanages in the area. I'm trying to improve the lifestyle of those kids. I'm hoping someone is going to pick them up someday.
Are you serious right now? Are you actually doing something so selfless? That is just so cool. There's not a lot of people that are doing something like that, you know.
I know, that's exactly why I'm doing it in the first place. Someone has to take care of these kids. I mean, this is something I really care about. I'm hoping that I can have these kids raised in a proper environment. Let's face it, the better those kids are raised, the more likely someone's gonna want to adopt them, right? I'm trying to make sure they have the best education possible. They should have the best people looking after them. I am really passionate about this type of thing.
Oh my god, can you just, see why I absolutely adore you in the first place? Jake, I mean, I've only met you this once, and you're already such an amazing guy. I mean, how much more is there to you? I just can't wait to find out.
Are you really that keen on me? Mary, are you looking past my money and seeing what's on the inside?
Of course I am. I'm sick of these dull, superficial people that are chasing after something that doesn't even guarantee happiness in the first place. I mean, I know what true happiness is. True happiness is being with the person that you love and having a family with them. Sure, if there's a little bit of money, that's a good bonus, but that's not what people should care about. That's not the core of what's going to make them happy.
I don't know, Mary. Maybe there's a chance with you. Maybe you are a really good person.
Of course I am. I just want you to try me out. Sure, you don't have to date me straight away. Get to know me first. Get to understand how much of a good person I am. Jake, listen to me, please. I know what type of guy you are. I know that you're the one for me. I know I'm going to be happy with you. Don't throw me away. Give me the chance to actually show my true colors.
You're right. Maybe I shouldn't be so harsh on you. There is a chance that you're different from the other girls. It wouldn't be wise of me to just throw you away like that.
I know, right? So, you starting to see reason, aren't you? Come on, nothing's gonna hurt you. Just get to know me a little bit more. Take a plunge with me. You're not going to regret this.
Are you sure about that? You're definitely sure that I'm not gonna regret this? I don't even know if you're a good girl or not yet.
Trust me, I can be a good girl when I need to be. All I need is a good man for that to happen. You know what, Jake? I've already got a good feeling about us. I wouldn't be surprised if you and I got married someday.
You know what? I'm starting to feel the same way too.
Jake! Jake! Jake, where the hell are you? I can't believe I'm putting up with this for another day. I mean, do you ever learn your lesson? How many times are you gonna keep making the same stupid mistake? I've had it up to here with you. Don't think that there are not gonna be any consequences for making a mistake like this again.
Oh, come on, Mary, what's going on now? I did everything that you needed me to do, right? I had the house clean before I left. I prepared your outfit so that you don't have to waste time walking to the closet for it. I made sure that your breakfast was made too. Everything's perfect. I even put the heater on for you so that the room's at its correct temperature just for you. What else are you gonna complain about?
Are you kidding me right now? You really don't understand what you've done wrong, do you? What the hell is this abomination you call breakfast?
What do you mean, abomination? I cooked your breakfast, and I even brought it to your bed for you. Do you know how many people get breakfast in bed? There aren't a lot of married couples that are doing that, especially one where the husband is as busy as me. I've got a super tight schedule and still go out of my way to do that for you. Don't sit there and complain about it, please.
I'm sorry, do you actually think you're in a position to make that type of request to me? I'll sit here and complain about it as much as I want to. I mean, what am I looking at right now? You may as well just crack the egg and put it into a cup for me to drink. This thing is inedible.
What do you mean it's inedible? That's a bit dramatic. I put it on the pan and I cooked it properly. There shouldn't be anything wrong with it.
Okay, well, you don't need to be a professional chef to know that this is absolute garbage that you've given me. I mean, what is this egg? It spills all over the place. It's totally undercooked. I told you the way I like my eggs, right? I want them cooked properly until the core. That's the way an egg should be cooked, not this mess that you brought me.
Okay, look, I hear your sentiments, but at the same time, what do you expect me to do? I'm sorry, but I can't prioritize you over my business. Do you want me to put you before the business and have me lose all my income? I need you to be a bit more reasonable with me, Mary.
Well, I expect you to just be on top of things. I mean, at this point, you're just all over the place, Jake. I don't feel confident in your ability to do anything. You can't manage your own business. You can't keep me happy. What can you do?
Well, I can do a whole lot if I'm given the time to do it. I'm sorry, but I have to prioritize some things over other things. I mean, you and your breakfast aren't at the top of my list, unfortunately.
How could I not be at the top of your list? Do you even care about our marriage? Do you even want this to last a long time? You know what they say, right? A happy wife is a happy life. You're trying to tell me that you were smart enough to create your own business, but you didn't even know that?
Okay, well, I can guarantee you that my wife isn't going to be happy when she loses the roof over her head. Honestly, I just need you to understand that there are other things that I need to do. Just ask yourself a question, Mary. How many other guys are out there running their own business, like I do, and have to clean up the house at the same time? I mean, I'm even doing this when the climate for my business is in absolute disarray at the moment. I really need you to be a bit more appreciative of what I'm doing here. I'm going through a rough patch and I'm trying my best to stay on top of it. Having an argument over how an egg was cooked is trivial compared to what is happening to my business.
Honestly, I can't believe what I'm hearing right now. It's just excuse after excuse with you. You know what? When I married you, I thought you were a totally different guy. I thought you knew what you were doing. I thought you would know how to cook a damn egg. You can't even do something as simple as that. What can you do? What are you capable of?
Well, I'm capable of a lot. Not that you care, though. I mean, anytime I try to talk about my business and what's going on, your brain just turns off. It's like you don't even want to listen to it.
Of course I don't want to listen to it. There's nothing to listen to. Your business doesn't excite me. All it does is bring money in. That's the way it should be. Talk to me about something that's actually interesting for once. Hey, you know what? How about you just impress me with a couple of gifts here and there? I've been telling you that I want a new car, haven't I? When are you going to hurry up and actually buy the damn thing?
Are you kidding me right now? It's already been a month since I bought you your last car. You're telling me that you want another one? You can't be serious right now, Mary. I mean, I get it. You want to have a little bit of luxury here and there, but this is just going too far, don't you think?
What are you trying to say right now? That you don't actually have the money for it? You actually found yourself in a ditch, haven't you? Like, gosh, you really are hopeless. What was I doing deciding to marry a guy like you? I mean, you should really consider yourself lucky. Do you remember what type of girl I was back then? I had all the handsome guys after me. I had so many competent men that knew what they were doing. And at the end of the day, I decided to choose you. I'm basically giving you a charity service.
Yeah, well, I love you too, honey. Anyway, if you've had enough of barraging me with how much of a crap guy I am, can you actually listen to me? I don't really have much time to talk to you, but I thought I should mention that your father has been asking about you. You and I have been married for a really long time now, and he's quite certain that I'm going to be the guy that you stay with for a long time.
Yeah, we'll see about that, won't we?
I'm sorry? What was that?
Ugh, nothing. Don't worry about it. What does my stupid dad want?
Well, he's just wondering if you and I are actually going to have kids at some stage. I mean, we've been married this long, and nothing's really happened ever since. He's starting to get worried. He just wants to make sure you don't get old and become infertile.
Oh, please. Can that guy just worry about his own problems for once? Can he just let me live my life? If I want to have kids, I'm gonna have kids. And you know what? Let's face it, you and I don't even get it on in the bed. How are we gonna have kids in the first place?
Well, look, that's not exactly my fault, Mary. Who's the one that keeps rejecting my advances?
Yeah, but come on. Can you actually blame me? I mean, do you really expect me to be excited about having some old man huffing and puffing on top of me? It's a huge turnoff. Of course, I'm not going to be excited to hop into bed with you.
Well, isn't that just grand coming from you? I mean, let's face it. You're the one that said you didn't mind dating an old guy. You kept saying that I was different to all the other men. Now you're telling me that I'm actually the worst? None of this is making any sense.
What isn't making sense?
What exactly happened ever since we got married, Mary? It's like you're a different person now.
I've got no idea what you're talking about. I haven't changed at all. I've been the same person I've always been.
Actually, no, you haven't, to be honest. You are quite different. Do you remember when we had that first date and you opened up to me about who you were?
I remember you dressing like crap, to be honest, not much else.
Okay, well, let me remind you. From that day on, you were so nice. You were so caring. I honestly was amazed at how much of a good person you were. It didn't matter who we talked to. You were kind to the waitresses, children, and even the homeless. Not only that, but you kept talking about family. You convinced me about how much it meant to you. You told me that no one can be happy in this world unless they have family.
Well, if we're going to go based on that logic, you and I would have already had some kids by this point.
Like, oh my god, what is going on right now? I have no idea what you're talking about.
I haven't said anything like that. What a load of crap. It doesn't sound like me at all. You know what? I know what's going on here.
Okay, so should we just assume that I was making that all up then?
Well, how about this? I know what was going on. You were seeing some other girl, weren't you?
I'm sorry, what? Stop being ridiculous.
I am being serious. It's the only explanation. I bet she was ugly. I mean, who would go after a guy at your age? That's just like, so gross.
What are you talking about right now? Mary, I'm only repeating what you were saying so many years ago.
Yeah, and I'm telling you that I didn't say that. Let me just tell you something, Jake. If you're gonna go off and cheat on me like that, then don't think I won't do the same. The only difference between you and me is that I would actually have some good options. The only woman I can see you playing around with is some disgusting old trailer park girl.
Mary, just what the hell is going on with you right now? Is this really the way that you talk to your own husband? I can't believe this is the type of mouth that you have on you. Like, how could you just sit there and degrade me after everything I've done? I've given you a home to live in. I've given you everything that you want. What exactly is not to your satisfaction? I'm honestly at a loss for words right now.
How about you just shut up and stop feeling sorry for yourself? Do you have any idea about the type of girl that you're married to right now? Here's a news flash for you, buddy. I'm a model. I'm at the top of the food chain. You don't think that every guy and his uncle is trying to chase after me? You have to do what you can to keep me. I mean, if I'm not satisfied being with you in the way that you treat me, then I'm gonna leave. It's just natural. All I'm doing right now is preparing you for that outcome. I'm giving you a warning.
What are you trying to do right now? You're actually saying that you're doing this for my own good?
Of course I'm doing this for your own good. I mean, I'm telling you what's wrong in our relationship. I'm telling you that you're slacking too much and there's gonna be consequences for it. I'm gonna leave you before long.
This is just absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe I'm listening to this right now. This is honestly the woman that I married, isn't it? Well, look, it doesn't have to be today, but you and I need to have a discussion about children. I mean, your father has a point. You're not gonna be young forever.
How about you just bite me? I don't see why you're trying to force me so much to have a kid anyway. Actually, you know what? How could I be so stupid? It just came to me. I know exactly why you're doing this. This is all part of your plan to sabotage me.
All right, come on, Mary. What are you talking about now? You actually think I'm trying to sabotage you? Can you just go back to talking like a normal person, please? I'm getting tired of talking about this. My workers are worried that they might lose their jobs.
Yeah, well, you might lose your wife if you keep acting the way you do. I can't believe I never saw it before. It all makes sense. I mean, let's face it. You want to keep me, don't you? But you don't want me to be as popular as I am. You want to tear me down. You want to make sure that I'm not leaving you for someone else. With that being the case, what's the only thing that you can do? Make me ugly.
I'm sorry? What do you mean by that? What do you mean make you ugly? Why would I want to do that in the first place?
Don't try and sit there and act like you don't know. You're the one that's planning this, aren't you? Not me. You don't actually care about having kids in the first place. The only thing that you want to do is force me to have a baby.
Come on, Mary. Come back to planet Earth already. You actually think I want to force you to have a baby? Look, I want you to have a baby, but I want it to be from your own will. Not because I made you do it. In fact, before we got married, it seemed like you had every intention of having a baby with me. We've been married for so many years now. We haven't even got it on in the bed that much. I mean, lately you've actually been forcing me out of my own room. You've been making me sleep on the couch.
Yeah, and it serves you right. I mean, you keep making all these mistakes lately. I need to punish you in some way for it. But let's just face the facts. What's gonna happen when I have this baby? Well, I'll tell you what's gonna happen. I'm gonna get fat. My modeling career will be over. I'm finished. Done. There's nothing left for me. What happens to me from that point on? Well, I'm going to grow more dependent on you. You're the only person that I can rely on. You're the only person that's ever gonna date me. No one's ever gonna date a worn-out mom with a saggy trunk.
It amazes me that your mind can create these delusions this easily.
You think I'm dumb, don't you, Jake? You think I didn't see through your little ruse? Well, I'm not as dumb as you think. I'm quite perceptive, actually.
I'm sorry, but I cannot believe what I'm listening to right now. This is actually an insane person talking. Do you actually think I'm planning something so stupid? Why would I do something like that? Honestly, I can't believe you're looking at our marriage this way, Mary. I am telling you right now, the only reason that I want to have kids with you is because I want my own family. I'm getting up there in years. I'm finally getting my business to be as good as it is. It is more than enough to support a family. I am ready for that next step. You know what? Not even that. You and I are both ready for this next step. Why aren't we taking this plunge together?
You think just because we're married that everything is all sunshine and roses, don't you? Don't you see that we have 1,000,001 things to improve on? Just because we're married doesn't mean that we're going to keep moving forward. We need to work on the problems that we have before we even think about doing something like that. And you know what? I'm seeing one big problem every morning. And that's the stupid undercooked egg that you keep giving me.
Look, if it's this much of a problem for you, Mary, then we're just gonna have to bite the bullet and get a maid. Like, I'm sorry, but I honestly just do not have the time to be doing this stuff for you. It's an insult. It is an insult to the things that I could be doing. Think about my workers. They're depending on me. They want me to be in charge of the ship and actually run my business. Do you think that they're going to be happy with me sitting at home wasting time cooking eggs?
Well, would you look at that? That's a brilliant little plan that you've come up with, isn't it? Just hire a maid. That's going to fix everything. We're not going to hire a maid. I'm going to give you the exact reason why.
Are you kidding me? Mary, are you seriously still going to be complicated about this type of thing? It honestly never ends with you, does it? I just found a solution to the problem and you're going to shoot it down already? Okay then, what stupid delusion do you have for me this time?
It's not stupid, actually, and you can stop calling them delusions. Everything that I say is based on facts. The fact of the matter is that you want to get yourself a maid so that you can cheat on me.
I beg your pardon? Are you kidding me right now?
You can try and hide it as much as you want, Jake, but I know what you're like on the inside. That's the type of fetish you have, right? You got a thing for maids? I can tell. I know that's exactly the type of guy you are.
What a load of nonsense. All I am doing right now is just trying to present a solution that's gonna fix everything. Something that's actually gonna work, and you're gonna shoot it down for something as stupid as that? You actually already know that I'm not interested in that type of thing. That's not where my mind is.
Yeah, you say it like that, but I know what you're like on the inside. Over the years, I've become better at reading my intuition, listening to what people say. At the end of the day, all you're going to do is just lie to me. You're probably even lying about your business and how busy you are.
I honestly don't know what to say to that. But you know what? I know things are a little bit rocky in our relationship right now, but we should seriously consider children. I mean, let's face it, you're not gonna get any younger. It's something that we seriously need to consider.
Yeah, well, you start doing your job, and I might even let it cross my mind. At this point in time, the only thing I'm worried about is me being able to control myself. If my husband doesn't start leveling himself up, I might just go off with one of these young, handsome guys.
Is that something a wife says to her husband? Hey, Jake. I know I already thanked you today when you gave me that money, but I honestly feel like I need to say thanks again. I mean, you have no idea how much this is helping me out. Like, you're basically saving my life at this point. Look, don't worry about it, Jake. You and I go way back. You're an old friend of mine, so this shouldn't be any surprise to you. Are you kidding me right now? It's nothing but a surprise to me. I would never expect you to actually do this for me. I mean, I was asking you on a whim. I wasn't expecting you to actually give me the money. And not only that, you've given me even more than I was asking for in the first place. Like, all I told you is that I needed a simple $1,000, if and only you had it. You actually gave me $5,000. That's 5 times more than I was originally asking for. Yeah, well, look, when it comes to my friends and people I care about, I'm quite generous when it comes to that sort of thing. At the end of the day, I am moderately successful, and my business is going to start picking up soon enough. You're part of my journey and how I ended up here, so I owe you some sort of appreciation for that. I can't believe you're saying this right now. I mean, I've always known that you're a good guy, but to be this noble and stoic? You can't do something like this considering your situation. What situation? You say that your business is going to pick up, but you and I both know that it's not in the best condition at the moment. That's not to say that it's going to go bankrupt, but I know that you're sacrificing sleep just to keep that thing afloat. Oh, right, that. Yeah, well, I've come this far, and I'm not going to let it die that easily. I've got something that I need to achieve. I'd rather die than live my life thinking that I could have done something to save my business. I mean, there is a lot on the line at the moment. The safety of my future family is at risk here. You're still that much of a family man, aren't you? I can't believe it. With the amount of wealth that you have, you would think that you would start going down the luxury side of life, right? But I haven't seen you do that type of thing once. It's all just work, work, work. Get money and then get more money. I'm just saying, Jake, you're a different type of guy. At the end of the day, everything I do is for my family. It's all about the people I care about. At the moment, it's just my wife, but soon enough, there's going to be some kids running around the house. I want to make sure they have the best environment. I want to make sure that they have the best diet. There'll come a time when they say they want to do something in their life, and I want to look them straight in the eyes, smile, and say yes. Let's go do it. I don't have to worry about the financial risk and if I'm going to be able to have the money to support their dreams. That's the type of environment I wanted when I was a kid, and I'm not going to let another kid miss out on that. Wow, honestly, your wife must be really happy being with you. I mean, how many guys are devoted to doing something like this? Look at how the world's going lately. There's a lot of people becoming selfish out there. They wouldn't be thinking about the type of thing you're thinking about. It's all about themselves, what they can do to benefit their situation. You're actually working this hard, and it's for other people. It is so admirable, man. I've never met a guy like you. Like, I'm telling you right now, no one works as hard as you do. No one actually sacrifices their sleep and their body just to achieve their dreams. It's quite a rare quality. Yeah, well, don't think too much of it. I'll admit that I could have lived my life in a more relaxed way. That was definitely an option for me, but even so, I don't look down on anyone else who does that. I'm just doing what makes me happy. If sitting at home being a lazy bum was what would make me happy in life, then I'd be doing that. Unfortunately, every time I try to do that type of thing, there's this little itching nerve in me telling me to stop. I just psychologically cannot turn it off. It's not in my programming. It's really amazing to listen to stuff like that. I mean, you're this much of a workaholic, and you're still so charitable to other people. You and I have a history, Mitchell. We didn't exactly leave off on good terms last time. I was so surprised that you would actually help me out this much. Don't you ever hold a little bit of anger since everything that happened? Look, I'll be honest. That was a very big moment in my life. I've never experienced that much despair before. It was really tough getting through it. I hated you for a period of time too. But at the end of the day, that's in the past and I'm looking at the future. I'm too busy seeing what's on the horizon. Too excited for it. It's all my mind can think about. I don't have time to mel about my feelings in the past. Okay, but you and I left on a really bad note. Did seeing me today make you feel like you wanted to hit me in the face or something? Surely you must have felt something. Well, if I'm honest, Mitchell, I was just really happy to see an old friend. I mean, before everything that happened, you and I were very close. We were the best of friends, actually. We had very good times together, which is why it really hurt when things happened the way they did. Wow, man, you really have grown to be humble, haven't you? Well, we're not young men anymore. It's to be expected. You got a good point there. I just want to speak for myself and say that I was feeling the exact same way today. I mean, of course there's a little part of me that was worried about, you hitting me in the face. But at the same time, I really wanted to see my old friend. That was the main thing to me. Seeing you as an older man now and more mature with your own business and whatnot was really refreshing to see. I couldn't think about all the bad stuff that happened in the past. And you know what? I know I said it back then, but I'm gonna say it right now too. I'm really sorry for everything that I did. I know how much you liked her. You guys dated for a long time too. If I could go back and change things, I would. I think that you and I could have gone places if we didn't do what I did. Yeah, well, what can I say? We were young men back then. If the roles were reversed, I can't really say that I wouldn't do the same thing. She was quite the girl too. I hope you guys have been having a lot of fun over the years. Yeah, well, look, we had our moments. It was a really good run. But sometimes good things have to come to an end. Hold on, you guys aren't together anymore? No, we're not actually. We had a couple of years dating each other. It was going really well. Then, all of a sudden, some really awkward behavior started to pop up. She started to get really distant with me. She was questioning herself. We'd have conversations trying to discuss what was wrong. She would say that there was something missing in our relationship, something that she wasn't enjoying. She didn't feel like we were a good match. Well, that's fantastic. She felt like you two were a good match more than her and I. I wonder what was going through her head. Well, at the time, she told me that she was focused on particular things, and I was focusing on other things. Our dreams weren't lining up. We weren't walking on the same path. It just felt like we were dating for the sake of dating. I really didn't agree with that, but I had to accept her feelings for the way they were. I mean, I'm not gonna force her to continue dating me. So I'm assuming that's when you guys broke up. That's right. We weren't able to continue our relationship. But you know what? There's no reason for me to get all dark and gloomy about it. I mean, that is all in the past now. Was I sad that things happened the way they did? Of course I was. But I can't change anything. I'm not gonna sit there and force her into a relationship she doesn't want to be in. Well, Jake, I don't really know what to say. It's really interesting to hear all of that. I mean, her and I already had an amazing relationship with each other. If you guys had a great relationship with each other and it didn't work out, I'm wondering what exactly she was looking for. I wonder if she's ever gonna find that partner she actually truly enjoys being with. Yeah, who knows? I mean, with everything that happened, I don't hate her for it. She's a really good person. And you know what? Maybe life is a lot better if we broke up. I mean, take a look at me now. I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, and I've got a family that I'm taking care of. All the things that I was so worried about before and all the things that I wanted to do with my life just seem so stupid now. They seem stupid? That's a really interesting thing to say. What type of things are we talking about? Oh, well, come on. You know, all the usual stuff. Making money, chasing after skirts. All the things that 90% of the population is so focused on right now seems really silly when you have a little girl to take care of. Oh, I see. It's family. You've got a family now and they're number one to you. That's right, you know exactly where I'm coming from. Do I even need to explain myself? Of course you don't. What you have right now is exactly what I'm chasing after. I'm begging for the day to come when I can be a father. It's an amazing feeling, man. It is amazing having that little kid run up to you, look at you in the eyes, absolutely idolizing you, looking at you as if you're the most awesome person on the planet. I'm not really sure how long that it's gonna last, though. I mean, my girl's still really young. Maybe when she hits puberty, she's gonna start hating her dad. But in the meantime, I'm really enjoying this. She's not gonna be this adorable forever. That's really great, Mitchell. I'm honestly proud that you were able to do that. At the same time, I wonder what happened to that old girl. Do you have any idea what happened to her from that point on? Well, I heard that she moved back in with her parents, but I'm not really sure what happened to her after that. At the age we're at right now, she probably found a new partner or something. I can't imagine that one living in a house on her own full of cats. No, she's too much of a special character to do something like that. It's really interesting you told me that. Thanks, Jake. Hey, come on, don't be telling me thanks. I mean, today's not the day for you to be thanking me. It's the other way around, isn't it? I'm telling you, man, $5,000 is a lot of money. You're making a big risk giving me such a large amount. I've got to pay you back somehow. Yeah, look, so you've got a good head on your shoulders, Jake, so I've got every confidence that you're going to pay me back someday. Don't worry about it. Take your time with it. Whatever happens with my business is up to me to deal with. I'm very confident in my ability to keep it steady. I'm not satisfied with that answer, to be honest. I need to do something more for you. Okay, well, what else do you think you can do? I mean, are you gonna start up a second business for me or something? Okay, well, obviously I'm not the type of guy who can do something like that. I mean, I'm a simple salary man. All I know how to do is be a good worker. I'm not sure how I can build my own business. But I'm thinking of something even better. Back when we were in high school, you and I would talk about everything. I mean, things were pretty hectic back then, right? We both had our own problems. We needed someone to talk to about them. Wow, that's bringing back some memories. We were certainly very close back then, weren't we? I remember all of those times we skipped class just to hang out by the creek. A couple of kids with a lot of problems. We had a lot of stuff to get off our chest. Yeah, and thankfully we had each other, right? I don't know what I would have done if you weren't there, Mitchell. You've been saving my butt ever since I've known you. It's part of the job, I guess. That's what best friends do. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. You heard my issues today. You heard why I needed that money. I want to hear about you. I've got no idea what you've been doing these past few years. I mean, we're pretty old now. Did you at least get married or something? Marriage is one thing that I've done, I'll say that much. Oh wow, well, you don't have any problems to begin with then. I mean, you're married and you have your own business. Looks like things are only going up for you. Well, I wouldn't say that's exactly the case. Uh-oh, I'm sensing some trouble. What is it, something to do with kids? I can relate to that if that's the case. I swear, as much as I love my little daughter, she can drive me crazy sometimes. There are some aspects about her mother within her, and not the good parts that I like about her either. No, it's got nothing to do with that. Well, actually, it does have something to do with that, but it's not exactly that. What are you talking about right now, Jake? You're talking in circles. What is it you want to say? Well, what I want to say is that what you have right now is exactly what I want. It's my dream. I'm seriously jealous of what you get to experience on a daily basis. Wow, are you serious right now? You want to be in my position working a 9-to-5 trying to support my family while also being broke? That's what you're after? No, not exactly. Obviously, I accept that your situation isn't as ideal as I feel or think it is. But at the same time, you've got something really beautiful. Okay, and what would that beautiful thing be? Your daughter, of course. I mean, you were just saying before how much you appreciate having her in your life, how much happiness you have. That's something that I am after. Oh, wow, okay, so you like family, do you? I gotta say, man, I 100% agree with you and 100% disagree with you at the same time. I mean, having my little daughter is great, but it definitely comes with its challenges. Are you sure you thought this thing through? Come on, surely you got the impression that this is all I cared about? I mean, I know when we were teenagers, we were a little bit shy to talk about this sort of thing, but you should have sensed that I had a family vibe. Not really, to be honest with you. What we used to talk about is how successful you wanted to be someday. Okay, why did you think I wanted to be successful? So I could be out on some yacht partying? You've known me way too long. You know that's not the type of thing I'm into. Yeah, well, look man, I'm not really sure to be honest. I just thought you were that type of guy. You just wanted to set a goal and achieve it in some way. I am that type of guy, but I'm achieving it for a reason. The reason being is that I care about family. It's one of the only things that I want in this life, and it feels like the one and only thing that I can't get my hands on. I can't be in your position. I can't have a child. What a load of crap. You could have children all over the world if you wanted. I mean, you're pretty wealthy, right? I'd even say you'd be able to support them. Maybe not now, but when your business starts flourishing and whatnot. If I'm being honest, getting the money is the easy part. It's got nothing to do with my issues at all. The thing that's bothering me at the moment is everything else but money. What are you talking about, man? Oh, I get it. We're getting at that age, aren't we? Old Jimmy is having trouble waking up, huh? That's okay. I've got a couple of Tibetan techniques that I can introduce you to next time. All we need to do is get a bathroom that guys don't come into a lot, and I'll teach you everything. No, look, you're off on the wrong track. I'm not talking about that. Are you serious? Are you saying that's not the issue? I mean, okay, fine. Yes, maybe it's an issue, but it's not the issue, if you know what I mean. I'm trying to talk to you about my wife. Oh boy, here we go. It's a tale as old as time. I think guys have been talking about their wives for centuries now. Tell me, what is on your mind? I bet it's got something to do with the way she talks to you in front of other people. I mean, I know mine likes to embarrass me when I'm trying to put on a strong face. She does a couple of stuff like that, but the main issue that I have with her is I'm not sure if I'm married to the right person exactly. Are you serious right now, man? A guy like you? You're trying to say that you chose the wrong girl, aren't you? Something like that. That's just ridiculous. I mean, I know you. You're a very cautious guy. I know if you're gonna make a serious decision like that, you're not gonna make it without thinking about it a lot. Are you seriously trying to say that you made an error in judgment? This has been a big error in judgment. I mean, if you were presented with what I was when her and I first met, you could justify that I made the right decision. But take a look at where I am at now. I've got a wife that demands everything of me, and she doesn't give anything back. She's selfish and egotistical. It's like her and I are on two different planets. She looks at life in one way, and I look at it in a completely different way. None of the things that we want are actually the same. Oh boy, here I was thinking that there were some issues in the bedroom. This is even worse than that. Now I know for sure that you're not getting any. Well, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? I mean, she doesn't even like me in the first place. There's no way she's gonna open herself up to me after the door closes. I mean, there are a lot of times where I wake up to her trying to push me off the bed. She's absolutely disgusted with me being there. What are you talking about right now? This just sounds insane. I mean, we're talking about Jake here. Sure, I know that you're not just some young model that all the girls are going crazy for, but you're a good man. You work hard. You earn a lot of money and you care about people. You're incredibly generous. These are all very attractive qualities. You're telling me that your wife actually hates you? Look, I might be that type of person, but my wife is a very different beast. My wife is the type that wants to drive around in a different car every week. My wife is the type that wants to wear a different outfit every day. My wife is the type that gets angry if I don't take her on a holiday every month. This is what I have to deal with. This is my life right now. Why though? This doesn't make any sense, man. I mean, what type of pickle did you get yourself into? The type of woman you're describing doesn't sound like the type of person for you at all. She must have been a hottie or something. You fell for her looks. What? I know. That type of charm can be very persuasive at times. A beautiful woman can just flash a little smile at you, and you can feel like giving her the whole world. If that's what happened here, I can totally understand. Especially if she's a young girl. I'm assuming a girl with this personality isn't some jaded woman around our age. Well, luckily for me, she didn't have that card to play. I mean, she is young, but to say that she's incredibly beautiful is an overstatement. She's not the most attractive person in the world. Are you serious right now? I'm getting the impression that you married a troll or something. Well, she's not that ugly either. I mean, she's had a modeling job when she was 6 years old, so she can't exactly be ugly. Oh, so she's a model now. That's pretty good. You got yourself quite a catch. Well, to say that she's a model is a little bit of a stretch too. I mean, I know that she's deluded herself into thinking that she's a model. She never stops going on about how she did that gig when she was a young girl. She must be really proud of her career. Good on you for finding someone that's passionate about something. Sounds like a great girl, man. Be happy. No, look, you're not hearing what I'm saying. She doesn't have a career. I mean, she puts herself up on a pedestal just because of that one little job she had as a kid. The modeling agency that she was signed on to said that she'd get some more work if they had some offers in. But in all honesty, they weren't impressed by her work back then. Are you trying to tell me that she hasn't had one job since? Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. She hasn't had one job. She hasn't had one call that actually came from the modeling agency themselves. She's been calling them incessantly, though, trying to ask when she's going to get her next job. They keep feeding her the same line, saying that they don't have much work at the moment. But when they do, they're definitely going to take her on board. I don't know how long it's going to take for her to actually notice that nothing's coming. This idea that she's a model is just a fantasy. I mean, it's been over 15 years since she's done that thing. I don't know how long she's going to continue thinking that she's a model. So she hasn't had a job in that long? Jeez. Yeah, I have to say, this is a really interesting person. I mean, I'm actually curious how long it's going to take for her to wake up. Okay, so we've established that she doesn't really have the best looks in the world. What was it that you liked about her then? It doesn't look like she has a great personality either, so I'm not really sure what you got hooked on. Well, allow me to get into a little bit of a story. Things were pretty rough for me since you took my girl away from me. Hey man, don't describe it that way. I mean, she was the one that started hitting on me. I get it, but you were my brother, and you could have stepped back if you chose to. It seems like you liked her more than you liked me. Okay, fine, look, maybe that's how it happened. But let's not get into that. I mean, you and I are trying to get along, right? Let's just accept what happened for what it was. Okay, you have a point. That sounds good to me. Anyway, getting hurt was kind of a good and bad thing. It was bad because I was absolutely torn to pieces. I mean, I've never experienced heartbreak before. That was my first girlfriend. And if I'm allowed to speak honestly with you, she'll always have a special place in my heart. I don't know if I'll ever find a love like that again. Yeah, thankfully for me, she wasn't my first girlfriend, but I know exactly where you're coming from. They can never beat that first one, can they? They honestly can't, so I took it very harshly. I was in some dark places. I was contemplating some things that retrospectively seemed pretty stupid. But I made a decision. I didn't want to live that way. I was going to persist and pave my own path. Actually make something of myself. All that pain actually became fuel for me to do better. It was the thing that I had lived off of. It pushed me to actually create my business, and here I am. I see. Well, I guess you do have me to thank for that then, don't you think? Come to think of it, maybe I do. Anyway, there's a reason why I'm talking about this. As you can expect, being successful comes with its perks. I've got a lot of attention from the opposite sex. There were a lot of girls of all varieties interested in me. Oh wow, now we're getting into a territory where I'm gonna start getting jealous. I bet you were hanging out with supermodels and everything. I bet that that's the type that my wife would have a hard time standing next to. Hey, I don't want to hear you talk about your wife that way. I met her today and she was an amazing lady. She's actually the type of person that I wish I married. Okay, well, why didn't you then, you big doofus? It hasn't been easy. I mean, sure, I've got a broad selection of people that I can choose from, but I'm not so sure about their intentions. I've had to do a lot of screening, making sure they're the right type of girl. I mean, I can't count the number of times where I thought I had someone genuine. I thought I had someone that understood what I wanted and was willing to do that with me, only for them to do something scummy. Oh, wow, so I guess another bunch of girls broke your heart? Broke my heart is probably not the word for it. I was disappointed. I think after that first experience, I can't really be broken again. I was just disappointed that I wasted my time that way. So you had a long history of getting the bad girls, and now you're with a wife that sounds like she's even worse. What happened there, man? Did you just give up and accept that you're only destined for a bad quality person? Of course not. No matter what, I wasn't gonna sacrifice my dignity. I mean, I didn't care if I had to die alone. I would only choose a partner that was right for me. So along came Mary. That's when things really started to pick up. So, Mary's her name. Just what type of girl are you, Mary? Well, back then, I was thinking that she was like every other girl. I mean, she was quite superficial, and she really enjoyed the dates I was bringing her on. Anything that involved some sort of extravagance or something she wouldn't experience on a daily basis, she would enjoy to her heart's content. Well, I've never been in your position, but even I know that's a red flag. I know, right? And I was this close to just getting rid of her until she began to show a different side to herself. I began to learn a lot more about her. She would tell me that she absolutely loves volunteering. She would love helping people worse off than her. She recognized that there are people out there that could use some help, and if they got the help that they needed, they could probably do some great things. That sounds a lot like you, man. I mean, you're really big on having that philanthropist type of mindset. Exactly. That's exactly the reason why I was interested in the first place. She was doing all these different things, working in the soup kitchen, helping kids with their own work, cleaning up the community. At least I thought she was doing these things. Now that I'm married to her, and she's giving me the attitude that she is lately, I'm not really sure if she was doing those things in the first place. What are you trying to say here? That she was lying about it or something? I guess so. A liar. A deceiver. I mean, just sitting there pretending that she's this amazing person so that she gets a chance at my money. Damn, man, she really hit you hard if that's the case. I'm starting to see how things could be pretty tough in your situation now. I mean, you've got someone that is the complete opposite of who you are. She doesn't have that generous type of mindset at all. All she's doing is chasing the next luxurious item that she can get. Not only that, but from the way that you're talking about it, she's not that attractive in the first place. Not that that's the most important thing or anything, but it just adds insult to injury, right? Exactly. So I'm in a really crappy situation at the moment. How long have you guys been married? Too long. It's been a really long time and we still haven't even had our first child yet. Yeah, well, from the way things are sounding, I don't even think she'll hop under the sheets with you. Until you guys can figure out the issues in your relationship, then there is no hope of you having a child. Okay, well, thanks, Mitchell. Thanks for the vote of confidence. It's not like I haven't been thinking that this whole time. Hey man, if you want someone to make you feel better and put you in a good mood, go see a psychologist or something. I'm just gonna be telling you the truth. And you know what? I care about you. The truth is what you need. Okay, well, what do you think I should do about this? I'm not sure, man. It's either you continue bruising through that relationship, or you just give it up altogether. Find a new girl. What's your relationship like with the father? Him and I have a mutual respect for each other. I mean, he's a lot like me. He wanted to create a foundation for his family so that they could be raised in the best conditions. He sympathizes with what I'm trying to do. He also wants his daughter to have children, so I can actually use him. He's on my side. Well, there you go. Man, that is good to hear. If you want my advice, I'd say that you keep staying in contact with that guy. I mean, if you can't have any sway over your wife, maybe the dad can, you know? Mary, I need you to tell me what is going on over there right now. I just got a message from our neighbors saying that they've asked you to turn the music down for the 6th time. Why would they tell me something like that? What's going on? I'm currently away. The problems with my business are still persisting, and I had to go on site again. I am so far away from town, so I can't go there myself. It sounds like you're having some sort of party or something.
Well, I mean, duh. Of course we're having a party. What other reason would they be complaining about the noise for?
Okay, I told you don't do anything crazy when I left, right? It's only been a day since I've gone out of town. Are you seriously trying to tell me you couldn't even wait one day?
Well, hey, I've been waiting for a long time for you to leave this place. I finally got my chance. You think I'm gonna let this one up? Of course not. I'm gonna have a massive party for everyone to enjoy themselves.
Okay, and who exactly is everyone?
Well, I mean, everyone, of course. You're quite known around this town. Everyone knows you as a big shot with your own business. They love the look of this house, too. Everyone in town has come over for a drink and a dance. I mean, check out my Instagram if you want to see how crazy it is. We've got a live video on there.
Oh my god, Mary, what the hell are you doing? What is going on right now? You have a camera in every room.
We sure do. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? It's the next level.
No, this is not amazing at all. There are people everywhere. They are even drinking in the baby room. This is unacceptable. I'm not gonna have people disrespecting my home like this, especially the baby room, which I put so much effort into.
Oh, come on. Stop being such a party pooper. Can you just learn to let people have a little bit of fun for once? I mean, are you this much of a horrible husband? I deserve as much as a party, don't you think?
As much as I'd like to argue with you on that point, I don't have time for it. I just need you to listen to me. I didn't give you permission to have this party. I'm not comfortable with all these people in my house, and I'm definitely not comfortable with them spilling their alcohol all over the baby room. That's the room I care about the most. That is the room where our future child is going to be sleeping in.
Oh, whatever. Why do you care so much about a stupid room like that anyway? I wish you put more effort into the other rooms of the house. I mean, the thing isn't even born yet. There's no hope of us having a baby, and you're already making a room like that. Trust me, what my friends are doing to that room is perfectly acceptable. I mean, they're going to turn that room into some place that's actually fun. We might even put the DJ in there.
If you do anything more to destroy that room, there is going to be trouble. Mary, you don't want me to come back from my business trip.
Oh, come on. Stop being so sensitive about it. I mean, take a look at the space of the room. Of course people are going to want a party in there. Do you really think a baby needs all that space? I mean, what's it going to do? Come out of the room and start doing contemporary dancing or something? Come on, get real already, jeez.
Mary, I'm not putting this up for discussion. I've already had a talk with your dad, and he's seriously disappointed in the way that you've been behaving recently. Do I have to message him to come over there?
Oh my god, don't please. I really don't want to see that guy. I'm just so sick of having to listen to him my whole life. You know, he acts like I'm some sort of soldier that's in the military. He's just always commanding me what to do. Do this with your life, do that. I'm just so sick of him. He's the biggest piece of crap I ever met.
Who am I talking to right now? Is this really the person I married all those years ago? What happened to that good-natured soul who actually cared about people? That person that was greeting anyone with a smile. One would even describe her as an angel. What happened to that Mary? Did I do something to make this happen?
Of course you did. You weren't able to satisfy my demands. I've been telling you for a long time now. I want a particular lifestyle, and if you want to have me, you ought to be able to provide. The only reason I'm acting out right now is because you can't do your job properly.
Yeah, well, let me just say that causing chaos in my own home isn't exactly making it easier for me, you know? I mean, here I am trying to hold my own business up, and I have to worry about what is going on in my own home. This place is meant to be my sanctuary. It's meant to be the place where I can actually relax and be at peace. I don't care how old you are, Mary. I am an old man now. I don't have the energy for that type of excitement that you're bringing into our house.
Yeah, well, sorry, honey.
You do a better job of being a husband, and I'll do a better job of being a wife.
Is that the way you think this is gonna play out? Don't forget that I have your dad on speed dial. You and I both know the type of guy he is. Chances are he's awake at this time. And if he's not, he's gonna be in a really bad mood. Wait till he finds out that you're acting like a teenager when you're already a fully grown adult.
Oh my god, I told you before, didn't I? I don't want you to contact that guy. Can you just, let me be free for once?
I am warning you right now, Mary. If you don't shut that party down in the next 5 minutes, he's gonna be the one to do it.
Stop being so mean. Just let me have fun for once. Oh my god.
Mary, this isn't a joke. Shut it down right now.
No.
Shut it down.
No.
So that's how it's gonna be, huh? You're actually going to leave me all on my own and get this divorce? You know, for someone who's older than me, you sure are the immature one in this relationship. Oh my god, I had one silly little party. Is it that big of a deal?
Ridicule me all you want, Mary, but this is my decision, and I'm sticking by it.
Have you really thought this one through, though? I mean, you're really losing a hot item here. Don't forget that I'm a model. There's a billion different guys chasing after me. I was actually doing you a favor by being with you. Don't you think you could be a bit more grateful for that?
Okay, I've been hearing this whole model thing for a while now, and I'm just gonna have to straight up and tell you, Mary. You are not a model. You're not anywhere close to being a model. You don't have the fashion sense, and you don't have the looks for it either. You had one little modeling gig when you were younger, and that was it. You completely screwed it up, and they weren't impressed with what you had to do after that. From that point on, you sacrificed your education in pursuit of this modeling career that doesn't even exist. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now that you are not a model. You're just another girl with a big head.
Oh my god. That is just, so rude. I have never had anyone talk to me that way before. You're gonna pay for saying something like that. You know that karma exists, right? You're not gonna get away with that one without having it hit you back someday.
We'll see about that, Mary. I'm moving on to bigger and better things. With you out of the way, I can see myself actually doing the things that I need to do. I don't think even karma is gonna stop me. And even if I try to, what karma do I have? I've done nothing but be good to people.
Yeah, right. You just threw your wife out on the street to be on her own.
Everyone, let's give Mitchell a round of applause. He's such a gentleman, isn't he? He really knows how to take care of the ladies. You know, for all the money you have, you didn't even set me up for a new home. That's pretty low, don't you think?
After all the pain that you've caused me over the years, I don't owe you anything. The fact of the matter is that you lied to me, Mary. You lied to me about your modeling career. You lied to me about your volunteering. And most of all, you just lied to me about your character in general. I mean, you knew how much having a family meant to me. You knew that that was my one and only goal. You tried to create this character that you were this loving person that wanted to have children one day too. The fact of the matter is that you didn't. You were only after my money. I want to hear you admit that.
Yeah, right. Look at you trying to paint me like I'm some bad guy or something. You know what? Fine. I'll admit it. You've got money. But what else do you have? Nothing. You've got no fun. You're serious and you have no time for your wife. To top it all off, you're just an old man that doesn't do anything. It's all just work, work, work with you. But you know what? I don't care. I'm a good person. I thought if you were willing to fund my extravagant lifestyle, then I would date you. I'd say it was a mutual decision, right? I mean, you get to date a beautiful woman and I get my money.
The thing I found beautiful about you wasn't your looks. The fact of the matter is that you tricked me. Well, I've had enough. I'm not putting up with you any longer. I've got my own life to live. I suggest you live yours as well.
Yeah, well, go on then. Act like you're taking the higher ground. You think you won in this situation, don't you? You think I'm going to be some sort of loser? Well, let me tell you this. Do you know all those parties that I've been having at the house? Well, there's this one guy that's super interested in me. He's just nonstop in my inbox. He can't get enough of me. Can you guess what he is? That's right. He's a model, just like me. It's a perfect couple, isn't it? You're only doing me a favor by getting this divorce. So go on. Go live your stupid, pathetic life. I hope you see me and my new handsome husband taking photos on some tropical island, drinking milk out of a coconut. You're gonna see that someday, and I know you're gonna regret getting rid of me. Do you hear what I'm saying right now, Mitchell? You're gonna regret this day.
Getting the divorce was quite smooth after that. Both Mary and I had a mutual decision to get a divorce. I was going to be happy with my life, working on myself and my business, and she was going to have her life being with that handsome model. It was all meant to work out so perfectly for her. She had this image of how everything was going to happen. She's going to spend every day with this model. He was going to caress her, make her feel loved, make her feel like she was special. And knowing that they're going to have amazing experiences together. But the fact of the matter is, the reason he was dating her was not the reason that she thought. He had a very peculiar situation. It's true that he had some really good looks and he was once a successful model. But all of that got to his head, and at some point, he became very arrogant. He began abusing the staff that he had to work with. He was an absolute menace to all the people around him. So he began to lose his job as time went on. Much like Mary, he had some weird pride about himself. He couldn't see himself working a normal job. He refused to do that type of thing. Instead, he thought he would try and get someone who has a lot of money, date her, and make her feel special in exchange for the money that she had. Before the parties that she had at my house, he had the impression that she was extremely wealthy. Obviously, the moment that we broke up, all that wealth disappeared. So the two of them went into the relationship thinking the other one had money. But in the end, neither of them did. And they ended up dissolving quite quickly. Mary was absolutely traumatized by that. It was the first time in her life that she was told that she was ugly, and the only reason that she was likable was because of her money. Because of that experience, she's been completely disillusioned about herself in reality. Her father really cares about her and wants to do what he can to support her. He decided that it was about time that she finally woke up and readjusted her image of herself, understood where she lies in society, and how she should treat other people. He now has her seeing a psychologist, and they do cognitive behavioral therapy together. Her father told me this, and I have to say, I do wish the best for her, but for a person like that, it's gonna take a lot more time for her to change her ways. I mean, the idea that she's not as beautiful as she thinks she is gonna be a tough one for her to come to terms with. As for me, on the other hand, it was a lot easier taking care of my business with one major headache out of the way. Obviously, I was yearning for love and having my own family, but that type of thing had to wait. I was too focused on my business to even think about it. Thankfully for me, an old character popped up in my life in a shopping center one day. An old face that I hadn't seen in years. It was my old lover, the one that Mitchell was dating when we were in high school. It seemed that she was doing really well with her life. She felt like her and I had something special, and she was worried about committing herself to me. She wanted to be sure that I was the one for her, and she gave Mitchell a try just because she was curious. When she realized that he wasn't the guy for her, she wanted to come back to me, but she saw how busy I was and how determined I was on my business. She didn't want to become another distraction. Well, now that we're in the places that we are, there's finally a chance for us to be together. Unfortunately, because of her age, there's no chance of us having any children. But it seems that over the years, she's devoted herself to saving as many children as she can. She's actually adopted kids from an orphanage. She has 2 boys and 2 girls, and she's raising them on her own. She's doing her best to be a role model for them, but she needs a father figure in their life. It took me a while to come to terms with it, and if that was what I wanted to be. There's a part of me that innately wants my own family. But at the same time, if I take care of these kids, I'm effectively achieving my dream. So now that my business is floating steadily, I decided to devote my time to these children. It's been about 5 years now since I've been doing that, and I haven't regretted it ever since. Thank you for watching the whole video. Please leave us a like if you enjoyed it. We upload videos just like this one every single day. So if you'd like to see more, please subscribe to our channel.